Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Marathon Digital Holdings Inc. or MARA. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Again, this was voted in Discord, so if you want to be voting for different assets that I'm going to be covering next, join the Discord. For now, again, let's take a look at the higher time frame structures first, as we haven't covered this asset before. Now I'm on the weekly time frame again here and looking at this main count. Now the main count basically starts from these all-time lows around 36 cents or 35 cents around the April or March 2020. Since then we've just had a one big roaring upwards movement. The structures behind it are very not that tradable to me. There are some possible structures that I've just labeled in here, where I started the count from here, where we had this as an ABC. Oops, not that one. This one, another ABC, and then another ABC, creating a possible WXY. Again, these don't really matter overall. I just wanted to label something in here that looked pretty okay, and this definitely looked the best. Is it possible that we had this as a structure into W? Of course it is. These structures over here are just horrible looking, so I kind of wanted to ignore them for a bit, so that's why I started my count from up here. But in any case, let's zoom in a bit here and take a look at the daily time frame and start looking at what we got here. Now, since the very lows, again, we're using logarithmic charts because, again, this is very massive gains here from the 36 cents area all the way up to $83. So, yeah, you can look at this to 22.9k%. No, sorry, 24,000%. There we go. So, yeah, that is pretty good stuff right there. But in any case, let's take a look at the count itself. I've labeled this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 1, 3-way pullback into wave 2, another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into third, and then 3-way pullback into fourth, giving us alteration between the fourth and second wave, and then having this last leg up in here as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very different looking in price terms, where we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, the main idea here is that this definitely feels and looks like a pretty nice 5-way structure coming up higher. Again, if we are looking at the arithmetic scale, we can see that wave 5 is the largest by far, and then third is definitely way more larger than wave 1 here. So there's no really issues with this at the moment, I don't think. And yeah, it is looking pretty good as a 5-way structure. Now, whether it is a wave 1 or A, we don't know of that yet. Again, that's why I have them both up in here labeled. So it can be the start of a bullish structure, or it can be the wave A as well, to create a larger ABC to basically, well, if we start the count from here and this ABC would be part of this whole structure, then we would be looking to take out these lows at some point. But yeah, that would probably be the death of this again. And hopefully it is actually a wave 1. Now, if we are looking at this time analysis here, we can see that we hit the 38.2 extension target of time, comparing again the wave 1 as a whole against the wave 2. And the wave 2 again has a possibility of ending here at the 38.2 exactly. So that is very interesting to me. There is also a possibility in which again we would not be finished with the wave 2, and this structure, whatever we are creating here, would be creating a possible structure like this, and we would combine these both structures and come down a bit lower. Now, why would that make sense? Is just because of the time element again, and the thing is that we did not really retrace more than the 0.5 here. I did have that somewhere. Here it is. It's on the wrong folder, that's why. right into the 0.5. So at that point, we could be getting asked to the golden pocket here if we are creating something like this. So yeah, it is completely possible to, so yeah, just keep that in mind. This structure over here, what is going to be making, if it is going to be making a 5-way structure here, then that is going to deny that option here of being a structure in which, again, we would create a 3, 3, and 5. And that would be very significant on the higher time frame as well. So that has to be kept in mind. Now let's zoom in to be closer and taking a look at this more local structure here. We don't need to be caring about that at the moment. And looking at the main scenario here, again, I've labeled this as a wave 1 or wave A, again, based on the higher time frame. Structures, both are possible. Having this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks pretty good as a 5-way structure, at least on the 2 hour, 1 hour, we do have those divergences happening from the 3rd to the 5th. That is giving us very good look in here in this possible 5-way structure. Now, what is more meaningful at this very moment is this correction that we are coming down with. Actually, Elo messaged me his count here on and asked me about if he had, or if I had a possibility of having this as a W, X, and Y. And yeah, that is one option. The thing for me here is the 1-to-1 in time comparison, comparing this B wave here from the current lows. This is possibly a very ugly diagonal structure from these lows to be creating some kind of structure upwards now, and we would be looking for a pullback here before higher again. Now, the 1-to-1 in time is very crucial, just because, again, if it breaks before taking out the current lows of C, meaning that if we are consolidating something like that, it's more likely that this is done as an ABC. However, if we are going to be breaking these lows, of course we can't have this as an ABC anymore, because the structure, unless this is going to be a connector wave structure, for this structure to do something like that. But yeah, it is not that likely. The WXY fits into this idea very well. If we are breaking these lows here, we could be assuming that this is a 5-way structure, having this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is also possible that, again, it is part of that what I showed you before, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 3-way pullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That fits kind of well. Did not hit the 1-to-1, did not hit the golden pocket. We did only get to the 0.5 here on log again. But yeah, there is differentiation between this. Again, if we are breaking the time of 1-to-1, it would mean that on smaller time frames or smaller degrees, this wave structure would be larger than this one, and it would not really make too much sense, right? So that's why at that point I would almost confirm this ABC to be done. Hopefully that makes some sense to you as well. Now, what else do we have here as a possibility? Of course, a bearish count. We have to keep that in mind. A WXY. I think I made this in arithmetic scale. It fits a bit better like that. ABC into W, 3 ways into X, and ABC here into wave Y. Now, again, this would be looking for higher prices as well. With after this, whatever this correction is done, then we would be looking into that as well. Now, if you saw that line here that I had, this one, let me bring it out actually for the bear count here. You see that this structure is not large enough compared to this. Again, this is 1-to-1 in comparison with these two. If we want to be creating a higher time frame correction more, then we would need this 1-to-1 be breaking. Now, how do we do that? Well, it is just if we are just creating a structure like that. And that was what we were talking about before. If this had already taken enough time to pass this 1-to-1, then we would almost, we could already be saying that this structure, if it was turning out like that, had enough time to be basically part of a larger degree than this one. And as this was a part of this minute ABC, this would be part of a monitor ABC at least as well. So at that point, again, we would have this as a wave structure like that. I just wanted to point out how these one-to-one in time comparisons are a very good tool to evaluate the degrees that you're playing with here, right? So that should be at least part of your toolbox, I feel like, if you haven't applied that yet. So that's why you've seen me labeling things or having these fib times around lately, way more than before. But yeah, interesting to see. This one-to-one is around October 4th. So I think that is Tuesday, maybe. And we'll see how this turns out. This definitely could be a potential long setup here to look for that C wave that we are looking here. But again, we would be just comparing it against this low. So I feel like this is very good risk reward here. Even from current highs or current structures here, we could be looking for a small pullback here and then looking for that price higher. Because if we are looking at, there's the lows, risk reward, even if we are just looking for this ABC, what are we looking for? Well, the main target is the one-to-one, 33.5. Where are we at? We're at 10. Look at this risk reward, 22 to 1. That is just, yeah, these setups don't come too often. And would I be risking that amount here? 100%. But yeah, I feel like that is pretty much just me. Shout out to Elliott again for showing that count. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next video. Bye bye.